Matters. Thanks again for watching NGM Matters. Rich Brown here with my good buddy Bob Dunn. Bob is all the way from
Arizona.
He is from the Zona. If you notice his hat, ASU.
Yep,
so there you go.
ASU on it. Yep.
We're here on the campus of Liberty University, and Bob started a school here back in
1973.
So he and I are about 8 years apart. We'll figure that out really quick. I started here in 81. We both got the youth ministry degree, and God has used him for the last, well over 40 years, 45 years.
Yeah, we stop at about 45.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So yes, if you've noticed a theme the last few weeks, I've been not just attempting, but actually focused on having on our show different veterans. And as I say, it doesn't make us old, it just makes us seasoned, all right? Because I really do want the younger generation of leadership to realize, the baton is being passed off to you. So a wise person, safety in the multitude of counselors, is going to listen to those gone before and those older, as Hebrews 13 talks about. So Bob's got a lot of wisdom, and we're going to hear from him now. It's, by the way, it's a beautiful day here.
It is.
goodness.
I'm coming from Arizona. We had the hottest summer ever on record, and this is beautiful here. I'm just loving it. Soaking it up.
Yes, it sounds like a McDonald's commercial. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Here we go. He's loving it. So Bob, tell us some of your backstory, story of faith, calling to ministry.
Yes, I was raised in a Christian home, but I was one of those rebellious teenage kids that, man, in the midst of it, my parents never thought they would get me, raised, and they prayed. A praying mom. There's always something about
Amen.
a praying mom
Amen.
in it, and that bothered me. But as a result of praying, folks, and if you are parents out there, you never stop praying for your kids. Ours have all left our homes. We still never stop in that. But I went to college in Arizona, and along the way, suddenly my dad died of a heart attack. One day I had him. Next week he was gone. I was already somewhat rebellious, so I was sort of angry at God. And somebody came along and called me on a phone. That was the ones where you dialed on the wall. Okay, that's way back there. And he kept up with me and said, there is a school, a new school on the East Coast. You'd never heard of it, but that school would give you a free trip to England if you enroll. And I said, I don't know if I'm in. But that England deal was the bait that got me to come to then Lynchburg Baptist College in those early days. And it was one that I did get to go to. I thought I'd come for 6 months, come for a semester, and wouldn't you know,
New England and bounce.
Yeah, and hey, I got my Europe trip.
There you go.
Yeah, out of it. God just so impacted my life and that small several hundred students in the chapel time of the old sanctuary of Thomas Rowe Baptist Church. And I thought, God, how could you be so patient and gracious in my life? And I knew, like writing on the wall for my call to ministry was, I want you to go back and work with the students where you wrestled the most.
Wow.
My adolescent years, my high school years, ones where I just fought against God in my life. And so it was that time, and it was clear. And I went through the youth major here in those early days of Youth Aflame, and I went back out to Arizona, and it's been the same all through these years. And I got to say this, I was demoted once in one of the churches I was in. I was demoted and had to become senior pastor. So I was senior pastor for almost 2 years. It was painstaking because I missed my calling to be back on campus and be with teenagers. Yeah. And I was so thankful to get back at that. And I have never wished to be in that position again, and have loved it. And it's been a great ride for all these years, decades, primarily in the Phoenix area.
Yeah. What Bob's been doing is really in many ways what NGM Matters focus is, and that's really coming alongside you as a professional youth leader or a volunteer youth leader and just propping them up, encouraging them, coaching them. But you're also involved in the actual high school and middle school ministries, and we're going to bring you back for a different episode on that. Where he talks about the old release time, which is over 100 some years old. We just grabbed coffee over here at the school campus bookstore, and there's the proof right there. Pumpkin spice latte.
It is.
It's October.
Good stuff.
So we were talking about the release time. I'm like, man, I was a kid and I went to that back upstate New York. But we're going to save that for a different episode because that's powerful, a powerful tool that God is really re-emerging. I'm just hearing about. But in the meantime, to wrap this part up, what are some of the things that you're seeing right now in current youth ministry? Not just the tricks and the tips, or trends, but what is some of that big picture stuff you're seeing? Yeah, include the COVID era right now, because we could be looking at a new, I hate to say normal, but we could be looking at some new verticals. Yeah. And some of the things you were just sharing with me.
Yeah. Well, I've been out there, was a local youth pastor for like 25 years within the church. And then come 2002, I can't believe it's another year or so, I'll be 20 years that we started YouthLink ministry, which is a ministry that comes along and coaches and mentors and networks, comes alongside guys in ministry. I realized what kept me at ministry the longest, for the long haul, was other guys that I could get with.
Yeah.
Does ministry get old? Does it get stale? Does it get hard? Is there times where you want to tap out? Yes, absolutely. And inside of that, I would get with other guys, maybe another denomination, maybe they had a little different theology, but you know, we were called into ministry, into the young people. And in those times, I would go, here's a safe place I can say, I didn't feel like parents had my back, my pastor didn't have to support me, and this week I wanted to like quit 2 times this week.
And it was only Monday.
And then I would talk to someone like Rich, and they would go, oh, you're kidding. I wanted to quit 3 times this week. I'm going, oh, we got something in common.
Right.
That prayer support, that time together was so valuable.
And also, like, to just get a word of encouragement to our youth workers here.
Well, I think in the last number of years, I think one is just your stability. If I could encourage you in something, is stay the course, stay at it. Students need that. In the home structure, now I'm out in Arizona where we just have high turnover in homes. Yeah. It's incredible in that. And I will speak at some of our colleges, Christian colleges out there, and I'll say, how many of you that are in the class have had 4 or more youth pastors, leaders? All their hands go up.
Yeah.
How many? 5? Hands still up.
Right.
I have 6. And in that, students need your consistency, your stability in it. That's why networking and being with other like-minded people from other churches or even other organizations like Fellowship Christian Athletes, Youth for Christ, Young Life, these things, we're all a part of the big C of reaching kids. So in it, I would say for students, as you look ahead, students are hungry. They're hungry for the truth of God's Word. Yes, we have the same biblical stories, but I think they're asking why and how does that apply to them. And in it, my thinking is an old adage that was way back. I can't remember when I first heard it, but I think it applies today, of having ministries that are staff directed but student led. Staff directed but student led. We need to pour into our students. Students need to be owners of our ministry. If you've read Dr. Kara Powell's book, Growing Young, as she looked at churches, the ones where kids stayed at it and we didn't lose them, their junior, senior year in high school, was ones that she would say had keys to the building, the ones that owned a piece of it. And in that, they're not going to sit any longer in our programs in the front seat, in the front chair. They're ones that are working jobs at fast food restaurants. They're closing. We need to say, this is yours, and what we find is they're the ones that in turn then are running our small groups, are reaching their peers. And so in it, I think you're in a wonderful time. I would say if I could go back 35 years or more, I would do it again. Hear me well, I would do it again. I would love to do it. I'm envious of some of the guys that I get with, because as I talk to them, I go, man, you guys are it's such an opportune time in the lives of youth ministry today. So God bless you. Stay the course, and we're going to see this next generation reached.
Yes, we must. We have no choice. 96% don't know Jesus, and the 4% that claim Christ. Bob's already alluded to it. You know this. They're struggling. They're bouncing. So what can we do to keep them strong in the Lord, in His Word, and then also be intentional with them being missional? And that's why I'm going to stay in the game. That's why you're going to stay in the game, because we have a sense of purpose, and that is to fulfill the Great Commission of Jesus. So very cool. Just behind us, This is the actual burial site of Dr. Jerry Falwell, and it was crazy. Halfway through this video, you're going to notice that it got cut for a reason. Dr. Jerry Prevost, the new president of Liberty University, just walked out, and we just had a 20-minute conversation.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's awesome. We were blessed.
Yes.
So anyway, you know what? Again, stay faithful to what you're doing. I always sign off with the same statement, so here it goes. What you do matters because students matter, because the gospel matters. Thank you, Bob.
My privilege.